G'day everybody, Sean from Bourbon Brothers here. I hope you're well. Welcome to our December tasting videos. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. The first bottle we're looking at this month is our value pick, the Old Virginia 6-year-old. Well, this one's a bit of an unusual one. It's produced and matured for 6 years in Kentucky, named after the state of Virginia, and bottled in France by La Martiniquaise. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey aged for 6 years, bottled for the European market, especially in France, where the brand is best known. I assume it's because it's an economical way to distribute the whiskey to the European market. Regularly selling for as little as $40 to $50 Australian and widely available from the large supermarket chains and Uncle Dan's, it looks like good value, and you know I'm a huge fan of age statements. So let's learn a little bit about this French company doing bourbon. The history of La Martiniquaise is a true story of success, which began in 1934 when French visionary Jean Caillard started selling wine and spirits in France. In 1934, Caillard started to import and distribute rum. In 1946, he added cognac, Madeira, port and sweet wines to his portfolio. 1965, the company launched a Scotch whiskey called Label 5. And in 2004, they opened a blending company in Bathgate, Scotland. In 2008, they acquired Glenmorangie Distillery in Speyside, Scotland, and in 2019, they acquired Cutty Sark. Along the way, they've made numerous other acquisitions and have leading brands in almost all spirit categories and some wine, and had turnover of more than €1 billion in 2019. It's a top 10 wine and spirit company in the world with operations in more than 110 countries. So let's move on to Old Virginia. It's bottled and acceptable, barely 80 proof, and its sins are more of a mission rather than commission. It may be worth forking out that $75 for their 12-year-old. I'd love to know where some unusual influence on its flavour arose, but whatever it was, it's actually worked. It's won a number of awards: bronze medal in 2020, silver in 2019, golds in 2018 and 2017 at various whiskey and spirit shows. So with that, let's give it a shot. Light burnished colour on it. Legs are reasonably light as you'd expect at this proof. So on that nose you get burnt caramel up front with a bit of red apple and some oak which come through, so fairly typical sort of bourbon aromas coming through there. On the palate, you get a decent, not spectacular, but decent mouthfeel. You get sweet honey, oak, bit of creme brulee, dark brown sugar, golden syrup. So it's that real sort of sweeter kind of profile with it. The finish is reasonable for its price and proof, with a hint of malt and a wave of toffee in its tail. So the Old Virginia, it's bourbon, but it has taken on some interesting influences in its travels that makes it unusual and hence a little bit more interesting. It's not amazing neat, but in cocktails, Old Virginia bourbon is good. It works really well in an old fashioned because of those interesting flavour notes in there. So that's Old Virginia, our value pick for December. I hope you're enjoying it and I hope you enjoy your journey. Cheers. G'day everybody. How do I start?
I'm just saying it's already past me.
No, it's not going to go well. All right. So let's now move on to Old Virginia. It's bottled and accepted. So let's move on to Old Virginia. It is bottled at an acceptable, barely proof. So let's move on to Old Virginia. It's bottled at an acceptable, barely proof of 80. So let's move on to Old Virginia. It's bottled at a barely acceptable, no, you, Sean. I got this.